Finally, the battle rifle has arrived. This is the best gun you guys have made to date. Okay. Yeah. I'm Larry Vickers, and this is Tactical Arms. I'm Larry Vickers, this is Tactical Arms, and the focus on this episode is the Knight's Armament SR-25. Now, the role of the sniper in the U.S. Army has grown over the last few years during the War on Terror, and it's natural for semi-automatic sniper rifles to be looked at and selected based on their merits. Whenever those conversations come up, the SR-25 is not far behind. Okay, I'm here at Drake Landing in Lillington, North Carolina. M110, Black Hills ammo, about ready to go hot on some steel, about 190 yards downrange. Going hot. No hearing protection needed via the suppressor. Suppressed operations are gaining favor overseas. Less muzzle flash. Also, doesn't deafen the shooters around you, and it disguises your location to become a big asset. Match trigger, very shootable. Also, multiple shots are easier to get off. I don't have a bolt gun. I don't have to reload after 5 rounds. The Knight's Armament M110, as you see it, weighs about 16 pounds, fully loaded, decked out with scope and suppressor. It also has a 20-inch barrel with a 1 11-inch twist. Okay, we're out here for a little table talk about the Knight's Armament SR-25 family, where it started, where it is, and where it's going. Here with me is Trey Knight, who I've known for years. Trey, do us a favor, assume that the folks at home don't know anything about this rifle, despite how famous it is. Talk to us about how this gun started.
Sure. Back in the late 80s, Gene Stoner approached my father and said he wanted to take another swing at the AR-10 platform. So he was always known throughout his career of really not messing with the project till he thought he could one-up or best what his prior efforts were. So he came with a clean sheet of paper, and the real goal in the beginning was to use as many common parts with the M16 family as possible. We knew the gun was going to be accurate, and you know, we took his efforts and we developed the gun. Started about the late 80s, and we were delivering guns by the beginning of the 90s. And this gun is pretty representative of the first rifles. You had a 24-inch barrel, had our older gas block system with the suppressor attachment thread here, days before rail systems. So this was our carbon fiber handguard. Was extruded upper, so the shell deflector was a separate piece. The original guns were shipped and developed around the original AR-10 magazine, so we started with a magazine that we knew worked and was reliable, and just set to work on updating the gun.
Now, that lead us, Mark 11's in between these two. Now we're here at the M110.
Sure.
Hit us some features on this that we didn't talk about earlier.
Sure. Well, the internally, you know, it's a delicate act of balancing tolerances. It's been an ongoing effort of basically loosening and tightening specific tolerances to keep the accuracy and improve the reliability.
Now this started with AR-10 mag. You brought the mag in-house and have been making it for quite a while with constant upgrades, correct?
Right, yeah. We certainly the AR-10 was a reliable pattern, but because it was an aluminum magazine, wasn't durable, had some other issues there. Originally, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but M16 magazines, the reason they're straight, they were all supposed to be disposable. And that was so that they could be packaged. They were one-time use and throw them away. And all the guns were designed with not much room for bigger feed lips.
Now, accuracy in the barrel, this was a barrel that you sourced from another vendor. initially, and then you guys brought the barrels in-house and under your control, correct?
Right. The original barrel was a hammer forged barrel. It was certainly durable. There's just a lot of variance in the specs of the barrel, so you didn't always know what you were going to get. They did shoot real good dirty, but we were able to tighten the tolerances by going to a cut rifled barrel.
Now, let's talk about the one I want to get to, especially since I want to put one in my collection. Hint, hint. The carbine. You said earlier off camera this is the best gun you guys have made to date. Talk me through it.
Basically, the 16-inch gun, we settled on the 16-inch barrel for reliability issues and, of course, for the performance of the ammunition.
I'm kind of one of the guys that subscribes in 308. If you go below that, you're kind of starting to get down in AK performance, but you're carrying a bigger gun. So 16 is kind of the barrel length limit on a 308.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the user's always going to, if they could have a 4-inch barrel, they would. But you know, you really got to look at the spec of the barrel and the ammunition. You design the gun around the ammunition. You know, if you want to design a new gun, well, you got to start with a new round. Right. So with 16, we've kind of really pushed to get 16 as a true standard, and you know, we really don't want to build the gun any shorter than this. So the new what we're calling the EM carbine, or enhanced match carbine, is a 16-inch barrel. It is a chrome line barrel, so it's going to be able to take a little more abuse in the firing schedule and with lack of cleaning. It has all the ambidextrous features of the SAS or the M110 incorporated in it. We also increased the length of the buffer tube by about 3/4 of an inch. So we're getting a longer stroke and able to go to a more standard buffer for the buffer system. We also increased the gas port length. So on a 5.56 gun, we have years of knowledge about that gun, and that this is a no-no. But we found with the 7.62, but by increasing the gas system length, that we were able to run the gun suppressed and unsuppressed without any kind of adjustment needed to the gas system.
Excellent. Ever since manufacturers have been making full-size battle rifles, they've gotten requests for shorter and lighter ones. Knight's Armament is no exception, and to see what they've got up their sleeve, let's go back out to the field to check it out. Okay, I'm out here with Kevin Bolin. I've known Kevin for quite a while now. He's been one of my students before he joined Knight's Armament, and we're about ready to go through the M110 as Knight's Armament sends it to the U.S. Army. Kevin, if you would, take us through it.
The Army adopted the M110 sniper rifle as its official sniper rifle. In 2005, there were some contract delays due to protests. And we started delivering the first units in late 2006, and they've seen service in Afghanistan and Iraq.
That's basically an SR-25 brought up to date, correct?
Yes, it is. We like to think of the M110 as kind of the Army's idea when they had the XM110 contract, as they took the letters and the numbers from the Mark 11 Mod O and just dropped the K and put M110 together. A couple changes to it: the rail design, added a flash hider, and the ambidextrous bolt magazine release features, adjustable stock, different scope, and the changes to the bipod and the coloring as well.
Now the coloring, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the first U.S. Army weapon adopted for widespread service in this color? Is that correct?
Correct.
So there was a lot of hoops that were jumped through in order to get all the components to match as best as possible.
Yes, the Army had a requirement to have a flat dark earth colored weapon system due to operating in Iraq and Afghanistan and other areas that are dusty and sandy colored.
Okay, now talk us through the packaging, the case, the accessories that come with the gun as it's delivered to the Army.
It comes, as you see here, in a large Hardig case that we call the coffin. Comes with the rifle, suppressor, bipod, loop-bolt scope, 30mm one-piece mount, 600mm rear sight, the quick cuff sling from Tactical Innovation Specialists, 6 20-round magazines and 4 10-round magazines and their associated nylon, a hard case that was designed for the day-night sniper system or the UNS to put in front, a scope cover bag, and a muzzle and scope cover as well, cleaning kits, honeycomb glare reducing filter for the front of the day sight, and another cleaning kit, cleaning rod, and various other sundry things underneath as well.
And I know what the folks at home are wondering, price delivered to the government.
Price to deliver to the government, it's gone up from the original delivery. It's currently sitting around $11,800.
And that includes the suppressor?
Includes the suppressor, day sight, coffin, everything. Delivered, qualified, and shipped to the government.
How many have you guys sent to the U.S. Army so far?
Sent slightly over 3,000 to the U.S. Army right now. The original contract was for slightly over 2,000 units. However, as other units outside Big Army have added on, and Army involvement and kind of success of the system, they've tagged more and more options onto the contract.
Good deal. I'm looking to lighten it up, and I know you are too. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much for having us.
This is the SR25 Enhanced Match Carbine we talked about earlier. And if you like shooting an M4, you'll definitely like shooting this. It's essentially an M4 on steroids. Conceptually, you need to think about where this gun came from. Back in the day, MP5 was used for CQB operations. However, if you had to step outside and take a shot down an alley, you're in a world of hurt because you were shooting a big select fire pistol. M4 comes into the play. Now you have a gun you can do some CQB with and a distance shot. Now fast forward to Afghanistan. Now instead of stepping out in an alley and taking a 150 or 200 meter shot, you're going out and outside of a village having to take a 400 or 500 or 600 meter shot. So a 7.62 version of the M4 is much more applicable there. You can do CQB with it due to its overall length, but now if you have to go outside or get on top of a rooftop, you can make it happen. Finally, the battle rifle has arrived.